Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of oil and natural gas. I see that they are releasing some barrels. They are trying to move one inventory to another inventory, and we're going to see some builds in inventory. So those builds are going to push the price down for a short period of time. It's going to give us a buying opportunity, I think. We'll see how these stocks are holding up. And then we're off to the races again. That's what I think. Why do I think we're off to the races again? Because we're coming to summer. Summer is higher demand, usually. Not usually, it is higher demand. And we aren't pumping enough supply. So this will be a short-term little fix, in my opinion. And then we'll see what happens after. But we don't have the spare capacity in OPEC. This is going to get really tight coming up. So let's dive in here, guys. Let's dive in here. Here's a light crude oil futures getting a little bit of a move down 5%. This is them releasing the oil. We could fall down. The next spot is $85. That's where I think we'll probably head if they can push it that low. I don't know if they can successfully push it that low, but if they do, this would be a great buying opportunity if they were to push it that low. And remember, a lot of these charts are set up where we have setups that basically were before the strategic petroleum oil release. So they're going to be sitting on top of patterns. They're going to probably have a lot of support. So we're going to see what they're going to do here in terms of the companies. Natural gas, it tried running today, had a little bit more selling pressure. I do think we may pull back a little bit before heading higher. But again, this is an excellent chart pattern setup. Long term, we've broken to the upside. Shorter term, we've broken that to the upside. So it's been incredibly bullish. We could have a little bit of a retest move before heading higher again. XOP, another one's getting a little bit more selling pressure today and yesterday. Again, it's holding up really well in comparison to what crude's been doing. So it's down 0.1%, which is basically flat, even though crude took it in the chin, 5% down day. So this has been very resilient, almost as if people are positioning in these companies. SM Energy tried selling off, but we're right at support. That's why we have a little wick at the bottom. So we're at the support level. That one's looking quite strong. We're going to have to see oil, I think, firm up before this really starts to move higher. CDEV, another one that's right at support. And this one is also on the top of its pattern. So the oil release brought crude down, but it's only basically bringing these down to the support level of the oil exploration companies. Again, I think they look quite strong. And we'll see what happens. I'm not selling anything, guys. I'm not selling anything. Crude Energy, another one that's been moving sideways at a very high level. We've had a nice big move higher. It almost looks like a consolidation period before another move higher. CPE, this was another one that was sitting at its support resistance line right there. We could come back into the pattern down here and then move on up. Depends what oil does. Athabasca Oil getting a little bit more of a sell-off. We'll see if this holds right where it's at. If we sell and come on back, I think we have another support line kind of through this area through here. And if we come all the way back, that would be an excellent buying opportunity if it comes back there. I will load up again. Looking at Recaf, another small little down day today. Remember, this is exploration. It kind of does its own thing until it gets some news. News flow is what moves those. Crescent Point getting a little bit more of a sell-off today, coming and approaching its resistance line, support line. So it's got support right at about 675, just below it. Northern Oil and Gas getting a little more of a sell-off. We could see more of a return move down here and another buying opportunity. Grand Tier Energy moving on up and moving sideways today. Tellurian moving sideways. Pedevco moving back a little bit. We've got Oasis moving sideways inside of its pattern. Again, we've got, pretty weak oil numbers. CRK moving sideways, just like natural gas. This is a natural gas company. SD Energy, another one that's on top of its pattern, its support. Everything looks fantastic there. This is Ring Energy right below its resistance line, trying to break through it. We've got Surge Energy getting a little bit more of a sell-off. We could pull back with oil doing what it's doing. Again, what I think is happening is they're going to give us really good buying opportunities. Tamarack Valley Energy might pull back a little bit more. We're on top of the pattern. Again, guys, these are big patterns that we've broken. We're just going to pull back a little bit. The volume's all supporting this. We've got Crescent Energy Company, another one. Nice little bullish hammer candlestick pattern. Looking actually more bullish than bearish. Vermilion getting a little bit more of a sell-off here. Again, we've pulled up quite a bit from its base support. We could see a little bit larger pullback out of that. Meg Energy, another one that's at its support resistance line, trying to break through it. Hasn't broken through it yet. Energy service companies, I like this area as well. We'll kind of do a zoomed in, yearly, a year-long chart pattern approach on the daily candlesticks, just moving sideways. Tetra Technologies moving sideways. We've got a little bit of resistance. Got resistance up through here. So if I were to draw it in, there's resistance all, there's resistance all in this little area up there. Every time we enter it, we sell off. We've got rig. Rig looks like we could pull back a little bit. We're starting to break down to the downside. We'll see what tomorrow brings, because it could bring us right back up into the pattern. But we could get a little bit of a pullback, pump going sideways in its pattern. We've got EXTN, another one that's going sideways, still looks good. Valaris bumping the trend, up 1.19%. We've got MMA Offshore looking actually quite bullish, 3.36% with a bullish hammer pattern. TDW just moving sideways. NEX moving sideways, still looks bullish to me. Big up candlesticks. The small leak off of sellers. KLXE, good. It's coming on back. Bring me back here, guys. I'm waiting for that. I'm going to buy that down here. I'm going to buy it if it gets back there. CHX getting a little bit of a pullback off of its resistance line. Cactus Energy, another one that's getting a little bit of a pullback. Remember, these ones that have had high short sellers and squeezes, sometimes they are very volatile. This one could pull back as well. OII, another one that's right at support. Noble Energy, another one that's just moving sideways. We've got HLX moving sideways, but still looks bullish to me. Big up move, small pullback. That's bullish to me. CGGYY, a little bit more of a pullback today. Petrofac looks like it's trying to put in a bottom to move higher eventually. And then McCoy Global moving sideways. Looking at the coal companies, I bought New Hope Coal. It's taken off. This is where I bought it, was down there, if you wanted to know. This was the one that I purchased. Someone asked me which coal company. This was the one I bought. BTU is the other one I purchased. I bought it on the pullback. I got it at the same time I bought it in the donations portfolio for the most part. China Shinua looks good. It's sitting on top of the pattern. Still could move higher. Looks fantastic. Yancoal looks really good down here as well. I do think Yancoal looks really good. It's just consolidating in a little pattern there. Whitehaven, another one that looks fantastic from a long-term perspective, moving higher. This could move higher dramatically. The volume's kicking in too. Looks fantastic. Thungela is killing it. Rich, you are killing it, man. Good job on Thungela. You were talking about this way back here. Good work on that one. So that's the energy sector, guys. We may have a little bit more of a pullback in the physical oil price. That may put some pressure. Again, we're sitting on top of the support lines. And we'll see if they hold. Again, even if they don't hold, I would be a buyer. I mean, that's me. We haven't fixed the root of the problem. We are not supplying enough oil for the demand that's out there. So they're trying to use inventories as a buffer. How long can that last? I don't think it can last for a few years. And I think we have more than a few years of a problem. So my bet is that oil in the short term will be weak because of inventory releases. We know that. And we're gonna buy the pullback. I don't know where the pullback's necessarily going to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cost average in, use everything I've learned on the channel, cost average in, get my shares when they're cheap, hold on, and when it comes back up and around, they're going to have to figure out another way to hold it down. I don't know how they're going to do it. They're going to continue to release inventory until that inventory is done. And I don't think they have years worth of inventory, multiple years worth. I don't think they have that much. And I think we're going to be running big deficits this summer. So if they are successful at doing what they're going to do, they're going to create more demand and we're going to eat through the inventory quicker. That's what they're going to do. So I'm looking at it from a bullish perspective. That's my paradigm. Big bull in oil over the next few years. And I don't know how fast they can bring on new supplies because I think OPEC's tapped out. That's what I think. And as we burn bridges in terms of all these sanctions and whatnot, and dollars start being priced out of commodities, I think that's going to even add to more pressures of oil going higher in dollar-denominated assets. So that's my take on it, guys. Give me a thumbs up on the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And check out my website. Definitely check it out. Get the Platinum membership. Be a Platinum member. We can do some stuff over the weekend in terms of question and answers. I post those videos if you've missed previous ones, so you can still see it on the website. I post, my favorite companies as well, and I'm starting to go through certain individual companies and give you guys more details on the companies themselves. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.